Respected Vice Chancellor of our university, Oak Sir, the trustees of our university, Bhagwat Kaka, Shivani, Dr. Priya, and my dear friends and students. These last 2 days have been really special for me, and this time luckily I've had 2 days to celebrate. Yesterday was of course Ganesh Chaturthi, and then of course this formal celebration today here. And it's really nice that you'll all turn up, celebrate my birthday every year. Makes you feel really nice. Of course, the reason why I get all these accolades is I had the good fortune and the blessings of my father and mother, who I was. So everything that I've done in my life has been inspired and motivated and guided by what my father has done, and what the kind of upbringing that my mother, the values that she taught me. And I think I'm really fortunate that because of the blessings of Gajanan Maharaj, that I have such a wonderful set of parents. Actually, I've been under the weather in the last couple of weeks, so if I sound a little different from what the way I usually sound, so I think please accept my apologies for that. But this is really a special moment for me. A lot of times, some of my friends have always, when I meet my friends, they always tell me, that Vijay, you work so hard. We don't see you in parties and all. We don't see you socializing too much, and come on, loosen up a little bit and have some fun. But they really don't know what the time that I spend in the institute, the time that I spend with the students, with the faculty members, it gives me a great high. It's like an adrenaline rush for me. So really speaking, all the excitement, all the energy, all the enthusiasm is what I experience during my day-to-day routine of my administrative responsibilities. So I think I derive a lot of energy from the kind of energy that you all show, the students, the faculty members. You all truly inspire me to work really hard. And if I had a choice to work in any area or in any field in my professional life, I think this would be it. Education, healthcare, sports. These are the 3 areas that I would love to work, because it truly is a very creative field. It's a very creative area. These are 3 areas which will determine the fate of our nation. These are 3 areas which are the foundations on which a great nation is built. And I think I'm extremely fortunate that because of the pioneering work of my father in the field of education, in the field of healthcare, that I've had this opportunity of working in this field. I think as far as these institutions are concerned, more or less, a lot of you all know about the history, how these institutions have been set up, so I'm not going to dive deep into that. But just a few thoughts which I would like to share with you on this occasion. Yesterday I got a message from Principal Ramesh, principal of the RAIT institution, which incidentally is the institute where I did my engineering. So it will always hold a very special place for me in my heart. And it was also the first institution which was established by my father way back in 1983. And he mentioned to me that 287 students have been recruited by Tata Consultancy Service in the first, in the recruitment drive which they carried out. And this was an extremely important and a remarkable piece of information. It gave us great joy and happiness. And when I asked him that what was the kind of salaries that they've been offered by TCS, and he mentioned to me that on an average they've been offered a salary of, on a minimum average, an average of about 4 lakh rupees a year. So, which is truly remarkable. It took my mind back to many years before, when students used to join engineering colleges. And the concept of paying for higher education was something that was not built in the culture or psyche of Indian people at large, because so many years we've been used to higher education being subsidized by the government. And I remember some parents would find the fees, tuitions, and everything that is associated with admissions, used to find it extremely daunting. And but my father, the family, and all of us have always believed that higher education is an investment in the future. So just to give you from that example from engineering colleges, so 4 lakhs the entire tuition fee that the student would spend in that 4 years of engineering college was covered in 1 year of working in the industrial sector. So I can't think of any blue chip company which would offer you that kind of returns, even in quantifiable terms. Yeah. So I think education is something that's extremely important. It's extremely vital. It shapes your future. It sets you up for your future life. Recently, we had some distinguished guest, Professor Mankad, who came from Harvard University. And he was mentioning to me about the fact, I asked him that, students pay a lot of money, they face a lot of the kind of fees that they pay at Harvard and other institutions. So what is the general feeling there? So he mentioned me a similar statistics. He told me that every Harvard graduate who graduates from those institutions get at least 10 job offers. And even before they, they qualify with their degrees. So that's the level of education, and that's the kind of demand that is there for students or for young people who are trained adequately, who have developed the right competencies to compete in the global arena. So I think this is something that's extremely vital. Yeah. So now the question arises, and that how do we ensure that higher education, we provide quality education in the right manner to the students, to the young population of our country. We do understand that a sizable section of our country today is not in a position to pursue higher education because simply the economic status doesn't allow them. And unfortunately, in India, private education is solely dependent on the capacity of students being able to pay higher tuition fees. So when I was having this discussion with all these experts who come from various universities, and they came up with a remarkable statistics, where they said that about 100%, if any university had about, collected 100% revenue, so almost 80% of the revenue came in the form of endowments, which was given by various industrial corporations, which, invested very heavily in these universities through, the other allied business. For example, Harvard Business School generates about 60 or 70% of its income through its printing business. So they have created such a huge bank of, what they really have. Their assets are their faculty. These are world-class faculties who lead in every aspect of life here. So they've created this treasure house of information, research, papers, articles which they have compiled. And they have been able to very effectively, create a business opportunity whereby they are able to provide all this printing material and to the world, so everybody, all business schools around the world, and not only business schools, corporate sectors, and even people from every walk of life, access this material. And that's how they managed to generate that kind of revenue. What I found interesting was the fact that, the entire burden of funding, higher education does not fall on the shoulders of students. And this is something that will certainly act as a, as a direction in which our university ought to go. I think Oak Sir, all of us, he's been leading the university dynamically. You know about all the developments that have taken place, the initiatives that have taken place during this last couple of years. So I think this is one area that we need to move forward. Endowments is another area that we need to move forward. I met a bunch of students who've now graduated. And a lot of them, are occupying top positions in the United States, all across India. And they mentioned that, they shared this emotion with me that they said that they would like to contribute to this institution. They would like to come back in whatever capacity that the university would deem fit. So I think that's an opportunity for you, Principal Ramesh, to, tap these resources, because some of these individuals are really bright minds, and, they've achieved a lot in their lives, in their professional careers, and they share a great bond, an emotional bond with this university. So I think that's what we need to tap in the future. Just basically on how this university needs to move forward, students have always been the center of everything that we've done here at this institution, for my family, for my father, and for all of us associated. And that's the thing that I would tell all faculty members, that, it's the fate of this country truly is in the hand of all you youngsters, because you all will determine, how, what are the steps that we'll take to shape the future of this nation. So I think it's very important that we instill the right values, the right thoughts, the right ethics to the young generation, so that they can truly excel in their lives. I'm happy that with the kind of initiatives that have been taken It's important that we don't remain disconnected with the world. A lot of time, universities, colleges, remain insulated with what happens around you. But because of the fact that we have such a strong community outreach program through our hospitals, for which the medical college, hospital, the entire team is working so extremely hard. Dr. More, Dr. Sham More, Dr. Mr. Kolte, Shirish Patil, my sister, she's been she's been working selflessly in that hospital. So I think that community outreach has to be there in the dental college, in all departments. I think you have to connect with communities. Education is not just about, attending lectures, getting your scores, and then just getting out of your institution. It's about how you can connect with people at large. It's how you can make a change for people. You can make a difference for people. So I think that's the kind of students that I want to be graduating from this institution. What will truly make me happy is that if some of our students, some of our doctors, some of our engineers, some of our physiotherapists, create so many, they create this change. They create, they do path-breaking work which will create change for people at large. So I think that's the goal that we have for students of this institution. And I think it's important that you always remain positive, because that's how you'll be able to achieve your goals. You'll be able to achieve your dreams. A lot of time, you have negative influences around you, but it's important to set them aside, be focused on the job at hand, and go out there and achieve whatever is there to achieve in this world. So once again, these are some of the things which I thought I should share with you on this occasion. As far as the present and the future of this university is concerned, while we are happy with what has been achieved so far in terms of development, but I still feel that this, in terms of age, this university, this college is in its infancy. If you look at some of the great universities around the world, they've been 100 years old, 150 years old, they've been a long duration of time here. So in that sense, this university is a young university, which was established by my father in 1983, and but since then, what has been accomplished is something that gives us reason to be satisfied, for all of us to be satisfied, because it was because of the hard work and diligence of everybody concerned, faculty. This was not possible for Dada or my family to do it on their own. It was because of the support that we got from the faculty, from the students. So that's why I always consider this as my family, because without your support, you all have shared that common dream, you all have shared that common vision, you all have identified with all the initiatives which I have taken in the, during this course of time when I've administered these institutions. And that's been truly, it's been truly been the motivating and the inspiring factor for me. A lot of things are spoken about my achievements and all, but this is something that I truly believe in. Whenever I visit colleges, whenever I interact with students, it energizes me. It gives me so much energy and passion to work even harder. And that is truly something that keeps motivating me. So when you all celebrate my birthday over here, it energizes me, it charges me up. Because I see that, I kind of share the goals and the ideas which you have for this university, for this college. And, I want to travel that path. I want to take it forward in the best manner possible. We want to see this university to be rated as among the very best. Because as I said, without trying to sound too repetitive, education is the foundation of everything, of creating a great society. And just a couple of weeks ago, again, you hear about these statistics that Indian universities don't feature in the top 200, top 100 universities in the world. And I believe there were only 2 universities who featured in that list, which was the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore and IIT Kharagpur, if I'm right. So those were the 2 universities which featured in that list. Now, when you consider India's history, the fact that you had 2 ancient universities in Bihar, Nalanda, where scholars from all over the world used to travel on horseback and through the road routes, through the Silk Route, and attend that university. And India was a center of learning. We used to attract scholars from all over the world. So therefore, it's a little sad that today we've reached a point where a lot of students, our universities do not get rated among the best universities in the world. A lot of time, students, when they finish their 12th standard, they choose to migrate abroad. And I don't hold that against them, because Western countries, they offer you better quality education. I'm not doubting the intellect or the intelligence of the Indian academic professors. I think we have some of the brightest minds in the world. But in terms of access to resources, in terms of creating an environment which will allow creativity to flourish. So I think those universities in Australia, in England, in America, they're many stages ahead of our universities there. So a lot of students migrate. And as a consequence, what happens is that virtually billions of dollars, billions of rupees of Indian currency is sent abroad. So if we could create quality institutions within our country, all across our country, you would find that students would tend to choose to opt for career options based in India. But for that, we need to raise standards. We need to raise, create world-class institutions there. In line with that vision, we've taken certain steps at our university to ensure that we attract the best students. It's important to get that international flavor to your university, because when you have students representing different cultures, different countries, it gives you a different perspective to the world. It brings about an exchange of ideas. So we are not kind of living in a cocoon, insulated with only the thoughts and ideas of a few individuals. You get to hear where the world is going. So it's important that any educational institution which aspires to achieve global standards, that you must have students who come from all across the globe to attend your universities. So in line with that vision, we have also initiated a step to start a school of management, which has been designed by one of the world's best architects, Sir Norman Foster, who's been instrumental in designing some of the top business schools in the world, like Yale University, Imperial College London. So many. You can go on the website and you'll find it all listed out there. So we've benchmarked this institution with the very best. So our aim is to ensure that we create a world-class environment in this facility over here, so that it inspires the students, it inspires the faculty, it inspires the students to study in that facility, it inspires the faculty to teach in that facility. So that has been the idea behind creating a great environment. I think some of the changes you've seen in the dental college, in other colleges, medical colleges, RAIT has been doing very well. Of course, there are many gaps. Those gaps, we've created long-term visions. So those are the gaps which we would like to close as we move forward. I think one of the important one is in terms of hospitals, the plans for the Ayurveda hospital, a dedicated Ayurveda hospital, the plans for a dedicated physiotherapy institution, a nursing institution. Those plans are just in the process of being approved by the Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation. So I think once those plans are approved, you will see work commencing in the month of November, December for the establishment of Ayurveda hospital, because we truly believe that the traditional system of medicine, Indian system of medicine is something that has great future and great potential, and that's an art and that's a science that should not be lost to people at large. So that's one area that we are looking at. Another plan which we have in terms of setting up a 300-bed super specialty hospital, which will be an independent facility. Again, this hospital also will be set up so that it is JCI accredited. It'll set the benchmark in terms of what quality of this hospital should be, in terms of how we plan all the infrastructure in this hospital. So I think those are the things that we want to move forward. So the coming years is going to be very exciting for all the students, all the faculty on this campus. I think a couple of months ago, you all might have also been greeted about the news that our stadium has been selected for holding the World Cup Under-17 tournament by FIFA. So I think that's sports. I don't need to emphasize what I feel about sports or what I think about sports, but just putting that into perspective, just consider this fact here, that in the entire independent history of India, not a single FIFA event has been ever hosted in our country here. And this is the first time that a FIFA event will be hosted in our country. And your college, your university, your facility has that great opportunity of hosting some of the world's best side. Of course, my dream group is, normally you get a team from the South American continent. So I think I would love it if, Brazil or Argentina base their camp in Navi Mumbai. Wouldn't it be wonderful to just see them, practicing on one of our grounds? So you could have, I've given my wish list. So I would want Brazil, Spain, Probably I'll have to pick on an Asian team, so maybe South Korea or Iran. So, those teams. So those are the kind of teams that will be participating over here. I think sports is something that's extremely important. I remember when I put up the facility, a lot of time, few of them were cynical that whether such an extravagant expenditure was justified in an educational institution, given what we do. But I think I personally feel that sports is something, sporting infrastructure is as important as classrooms and laboratories, because health is something. I know I'm stating the obvious, but that's something that's essential to succeed in life. So you can be extremely talented, but if you're not healthy, you wouldn't go too far. So sports is very important. And look at the kind of infrastructure that the most successful universities all across the globe have. While it might be a unique effort in India in terms of the stadium which we have put up in Navi Mumbai, but in terms, if you look at collegiate sports in the United States, you look at collegiate sports in Europe, in Australia, you find that they have extensive sporting facility. It's, they've got their own stadiums, they've got their own teams, they've got their college team which competes at the highest level. It's only about the college teams, the university teams are probably just one tier below the national teams. So for example, the collegiate sports, it's covered by television. So there is a whole model around that, around university sports. And I think it's important that to create a true revolution in sports in our country. A lot of time, being in the sporting field, we hear this discussion about how to make India a great sporting nation. Leagues are launched. They advertise on television. While all that is extremely good, but what is important is that grassroots infrastructure needs to be developed. So fundamental work needs to be done at the grassroots infrastructure. I remember when we had the ISL last year at our stadium, and about 3 teams came to, at one point of time were in Navi Mumbai. So one of the teams, obviously, which was playing in Navi Mumbai, so they got to play at our facility. And the other teams had to struggle to find a football ground in our city. Now, a city which is supposed to be the commercial capital of our country, and there are hardly any grounds where one can train or one can practice. So I think what is important, so while leagues will be great in terms of projecting the game, to getting a greater awareness in terms of the game and increasing the popularity of sports, but what is important is for infrastructure to be developed at the grassroots level. So it's like, you've got to teach people how to walk before they can run. So leagues are something that hits at the highest level of sports, but what is important for our country today is to create grassroots infrastructure. And that is where I feel that truly colleges, universities, schools can play a leading part in development of sports. 80% of the sports infrastructure all around, in some of the most developed countries in the world have been created by schools, colleges, and university. So if you truly want India to be a great sporting nation, if you truly want India to excel in sports, both at the Olympics and at every level, it's important that we develop sports, infrastructure at the school, collegiate, and university level. Then truly the culture of sports can be built up in every citizen of this country. In spite of that, some of our sportsmen have done amazingly well, but that's great credit to them. So it's not necessarily because of the system that these individuals have gone to achieve great heights. So apart from cricket, I think it's important that we need to develop this infrastructure. Finally, I think there are so many things, this area of healthcare, education, sports, there's so many things that one can do. There's so many ways that you can contribute in this sphere. I could just keep speaking about this. All I would like to say is that once again, thank you so much for all the wishes the affection that you bestow on me. Truly, I don't look at you all as students. I consider all of you all faculty members. I truly consider you all as family. जेव्हा मी इथे केव्हाही येतो तेव्हा मला असं वाटत नाही की मी कधी म्हणजे असं कार्यक्रमाला पाहुणा म्हणून येतोय. आणि खरंच म्हणजे मला तुम्ही माझ्या घरातल्यासारखेच वाटता. सगळे मुलं, सगळे फॅकल्टी मेंबर्स आहेत. तुम्ही खूप माझ्या वडिलांच्यावर खूप प्रेम केलेलं आहे. तसंच प्रेम आमच्या कुटुंबियांवरही ठेवा. I must not, Shivani, I must speak about her before I conclude my speech. She's been such a wonderful guiding, more than a guy, supporting force for me in terms of, she's never bothered about, she's never nagged me or anything, when I've been working day and night. Imagine if you're, 17 hours, you're either on the cricket field or walking on one of your sites or, working in this field. And in fact, she's taken a very proactive interest in this institution. So I think so that support is very essential, because if you have to succeed in life, you need to be sure that you are in the state of mind, you are in that mental state where you're free to act according to what you feel is important for achieving your vision. So I think she's been a great person who's really supported me in everything that I've done in my life. My children are over here. Rajveer walked in with a sword, but I'll prefer when he walks in with a bat. I think that will make me more happier. And then I've got very sweet children, Raj Lakshmi, Avanti, she's sitting there, and they've been so sweet. I know it's kind of when you praise your own children. I don't like to do that very often, but they've genuinely been such. They've that's the thing that you look up to. When you return home, you want to see your children, and both my daughters, I can see that they've developed certain qualities. In fact, Raj Lakshmi writes very good poetry, and I think somehow, she's inherited the genes of my mother. We had one generation got skipped in that process, because I don't think Priya, me, Nandita or Ajinkya, none of us actually write. But Raj Lakshmi has imbibed that quality. I asked her whether she copied that poem from Google, or she cut and pasted it. But but I asked her because I was not quite sure whether she'd actually penned it herself. Yeah. She's only in the 7th grade, so I think great work. I think good. You should just keep on doing that. And Avanti, of course, she's just 1 year behind her, so I'm sure she'll follow in her footsteps. So thank you so much for sharing this occasion with me. I will always be there for you. I will always work in a manner in which, you'll always be happy and proud to be a part of the D Y Patil family. Thank you so much.